Right, okay, everyone. Thank you for coming along. I'll go to the start again. So my name is Chief Charlie Brown, and the presentation that I'm going to deliver to you tonight is cyber roles within the cyber protection team at MCSU. Don't ask what MCSU is at the minute. We'll get around to that. Right, so here's the introduction. Firstly, what I'm going to cover is my path from joining the Royal Navy to MCSU, which is my current job. What is MCSU and the cyber protection team? Roles and responsibilities within the cyber protection team, military training and courses, civilian accredited courses, unified career management, conclusion, and then at the end, as was alluded to, we'll go into a question and answer session. So my path from joining the Royal Navy to MCSU. September 1995, joined the Royal Navy with 6 O-levels, including maths, English language and physics, 2 A-levels in NIF, and trivia, and a BTEC ordinary national diploma in general engineering. And I joined as an artificer apprentice. That path is no longer open. What it was like a fast track scheme for those that had quite a well-grounded education already. And it was, for want of a better expression, an accelerated promotion scheme. Okay, and I was streamed into the weapon engineering branch at the end of basic training, which was
Charlie, we've got no sounds from you.
Oh dear.
This is going well. Charlie, can you hear us?
Yeah, totally. It's definitely.
Right, he's gone. Okay.
Definitely there.
Catherine, so I don't know how he's going to play with it. We'll give him 2 minutes, see if he comes back in the attendees, and then we'll have to just reschedule, I think.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for bearing with us. Usually this part is hidden in this secret bit before we start the actual recording, but we're having a few technical issues tonight.
Oh, he's back.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
Yes.
I'm not sure what happened then. I think my my Wi-Fi bounced. Right.
Charlie, is your presentation something you'd be happy to share? I can give you my email address and one of us could share that for you.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem.
Yeah. Okay, I've sent you my email address.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me, I've just got to log on.
No, no worries. Okay, to save everyone sitting waiting for us to sort this, if you want to go get a drink or have a little wander about, we'll make the start time 25 past, if that's okay.
As I clicked off the Zoom screen, it has dropped the chat. I'm just waiting for it to come back up so I can get your email address.
You want me to send it again?
Is it Kay Ferguson?
Yes.
Got it. Inbound. Beautiful. I can see that.
Oh, is that fair?
All good for me.
Works for me. So
Oh, wait,
every
that's
time I
the-
want you to click, do you want me to say next slide or click?
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Catherine.
Catherine. Okay. Are we all ready to go again? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, right. If you can click, please, Catherine. Yeah, we've done all that. Yeah, click again, please. Oh, go back. Oh, you've stolen my thunder. The reason that I'm not sure where I dropped off, but the reason I put in about the only IT-based module was the principles of personal computer systems was to highlight just how far computers have come since I joined up in 1995, whereas it was a small element of my apprenticeship, and now it is everywhere. Okay, I'll touch more on this a little bit later on in this presentation. So February 1999, joined HMS Gloucester as the command system and Navy Star maintainer after a period of pre-joining training. Command system, think of it as a mainframe computer. Also part of that was the display suite, which were really dumb terminals. Basically, it would display radar information as well as track data, and you could interrogate the system and get more data from it. And I was responsible for the maintenance of that. Navy Star was effectively an office IT system that the Navy brought in in order to make its daily routine working more efficient. And it was meant to be a paperless office, and then they put printers all over the ship. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. And there's a steely picture of HMS Gloucester. Batch 3 Type 42 destroyer. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. So subsequent drafts followed in the same role as I had on the Gloucester on HM ships Edinburgh and Nottingham. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. There's a steely picture of HMS Edinburgh. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. And there's a steely picture of HMS Nottingham. Edinburgh, like Gloucester, was batch 3 Type 42. Nottingham was a batch 2 Type 42, so was a little bit older. They're all now decommissioned and all scrapped. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you very much. So in August 2010, I joined HMS Illustrious as a member of the Information Systems Group with maintainer responsibilities for all shipborne IT systems, following another pre-joining training package. Next slide, please. And there's a picture of Illustrious. And if you'll notice, on the bottom left of the picture, right on the bow, right at the front of the flight deck, is an Army Air Corps Apache, which just goes to show that the Royal Navy does work hand in hand with both the Army and the RAF, if that needs illustrating. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you very much. So in February 2015, I joined HMS Richmond as the Communications Group Head and External Communications Maintainer, and that meant that I had the responsibility for all the units' integrated communications systems, so HF, VHF and UHF, predominantly radios. Okay, next slide, please, Catherine. And there's two pictures of Richmond. The reason there's two of this one and there was only one of each of my other ships is because on the one in the left, I'm in that picture somewhere. That was on a 2015 deployment to the Gulf. The one on the right is a very, very recent picture of Richmond. I believe that's her going alongside somewhere in Vietnam. And that was when she was part of the Carrier Strike Group deployment last year. So very, very recent. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. So in September 2018, I joined the Communications and Information Systems Training Unit, otherwise known as SISTU, within HMS Collingwood, the School of Weapon Engineering. Initially, I was instructing basic networking, so Cisco, to phase 3 trainees. Phase 3 being people that are coming back on promotional courses. Phase 1 is basic training. Phase 2 is initial trade training. And phase 3, as I say, it's people that have been selected for promotion. They go back to their branch school to do follow-on career courses. And that's what I was instructing. And then latterly, as the Defence Information Infrastructure Site System Manager, or DII SSM. DII is a system that was introduced defence-wide, tri-service, and it was to replace systems like Navy Star. I couldn't find the exact figures, but from memory, I think there were 500 systems that DII was introduced to replace. So it's to give uniformity and also cut down on costs. It's more efficient to maintain one system than it is to maintain 500 systems. I'm sure you're all aware of that. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Yeah, and what I was doing, I was heading a team to deliver DII administrator and maintainer PJT training to ratings about to join seagoing units. Next slide, please, Catherine. Thank you. And in February 2021, so last year, just over 13 months ago, I joined MCSU in my current role. So that's my path from joining the Navy to my current role now. There's things I've missed off of there because it has no relevance to this seminar. Okay, there's no IT. I've had short drafts that have no relevance, so engineering support units and things like that. So I'll go on board a ship that's come alongside and help to fix a system that has got a defect on it. Next slide, please, Catherine. So what is MCSU and the Cyber Protection Team? MCSU stands for Maritime C5 ISR Support Unit. The C5 ISR stands for Command Control, Computers, Communications, Coalition, Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance. You can see why we abbreviate it to the maximum to MCSU, because that is a right gobful. Next slide, please, Catherine. So we are a Navy Command Force element under Navy Digital that delivers and supports C5 ISR equipment and information services to maritime deployed units, and we're staffed by military, civil service and contractor specialists. Most of our contractor specialists, though, I would say 95% have served. Next slide, please, Catherine. So MCSU are located at Portsdown Hill, which is MCSU HQ in Portsmouth. That's where I work. Next slide, please, Catherine. Stonehouse, which is MCSU Southwest, which is located in Stonehouse Barracks in Plymouth. Yes, please, Catherine. And Devonport, which is MCSU Devonport, which is in Plymouth, but it's in Devonport Dockyard rather than at Stonehouse Barracks. Yes, please, Catherine. And lastly, Clyde, MCSU North. Next slide, please, Catherine. So the CPT's mission statement is to operate and defend ICT systems within the deployed and fixed maritime environment. Yes, please, Catherine. It consists of cyber analysts who can monitor and analyze activity on networks, servers, endpoints, databases, applications, websites, and other systems to look for anomalous activity that could be an indication of a security incident or compromise. Yes, please, Catherine. Operates as part of the Federated CyberSecurity operating capability alongside the other single service CPTs. So Army and RAF, they have organisations just like us, and also the Joint Rapid Response Teams, which, as the name implies, is tri-service. Yes, please, Catherine. And we provide level 3 cyber support to ships and establishments, and we have 2 people at a constant 48 hours notice to move. So that's incident response. A ship can put its hand in the air, cry foul, we think we've been hacked. They'll contact MCSU. We get 2 people out to wherever that ship is in the world within 48 hours. Okay, we're level 3 because level 1 is the user of the system. Level 2 is the shipborne maintainer. We're level 3. Yes, please, Catherine. And we can be tasked from a number of sources such as ModCert, Navy Warp, and the CyberSecurity. And we're often asked to perform digital forensics work in support of Navy. That should be PYSA, that's a typo on my part. So if you think about a hacked mobile phone or USB device and malicious software that could be contained on that, and this work can be accomplished on-site or in-house. CyberSecurity stands for the Cyber Information Security Operating Center. ModCert is the Ministry of Defense Computer Event Response Team. Navy Warp is the Navy Warning, Advice and Reporting Point. And Navy PYSA is the Principal Security Advisor. Yes, please, Catherine. So within MCSU, the CPT sits in the Defensive Cyber Operations Department, or DCO, which is one of 7 departments at the unit. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yes, please, Catherine. So there's the family tree of the CPT. So we're headed by a Royal Naval Lieutenant, where there's a warrant officer to Royal Marines. You can see me to the right with the arrow going towards me from the warrant officer to RM box, and I am the DCO DEPCO or departmental coordinator. Don't concentrate on the names. What that's there for is just to show you how it's made up and the numbers involved. Yes, please, Catherine. So branches of the Royal Navy involved in the CPT. Yes, please, Catherine. So engineering technician, weapon engineering, communications and information systems technician. That's me, someone that maintains the kit, okay? Same again, but instead of technician, specialist. what that's all about, they are the people that set up the communications equipment. So they will set up radio circuits for the end users, usually in the operations room, the people fighting the ship. They also are the onboard IS system administrators. Yes, please, Catherine. Warfare branch, electronic warfare. What these guys do at sea is they sit in front of equipment that monitors the I've totally lost my train of thought. The electromagnetic spectrum for any radar emissions, anything like that, to get a warning from it. Where's this coming from? Yes, please, Catherine. Warfare branch communications technicians, much like the electronic warfare guys, these guys sit at kit that monitor the electromagnetic spectrum, but what they're looking for, rather than radar emissions, is radio emissions. So they're looking for chat. Yes, please, Catherine. Warfare branch intelligence goes without saying, military intelligence, nothing more to be said. Yes, please, Catherine. And Royal Marines Information Systems, a little bit more about them later on in the presentation. Yes, please, Catherine. So what can we decipher from this? Yes, please, Catherine. There's no cyber branch within the Royal Navy and thus no direct entry into cyber roles from civilian life. You have to join another branch to get into cyber. Okay. Yes, please, Catherine. So roles and responsibilities within the CPT. So the team leader, what's his role? He manages the team. Yes, please, Catherine. He prioritises tasks, or they, should I say, prioritise tasks for engineers and analyst teams. Yes, please, Catherine. Coordinates tasks within MCSU. Yes, please. Liaises with unit command within MCSU. Yes, please. So the engineer manages the protect. Anything in the next couple of slides that are in uppercase is all to do with the NIST framework. Okay. Manages the protect activities on the system, including the system assurance, system hardening, and data management. Yes, please. Conducts vulnerability assessments of the target systems. Support the system owner with identifying required patches and antivirus to harden the system from attack. Yes, please. Manage the monitoring equipment, its connection to the target system, and the data ingested from it. So the monitoring equipment is usually a SEAM tool, SEAM standing for, I don't know whether I'm teaching you to suck eggs. Please excuse me if I am. I really don't mean to. Security information and event management. So what that's all about, it's a tool that will look at ingested log files, and you can put rules into it using Boolean algebra to effectively sort the wheat from the chaff and find out what you're looking for. So looking for, as was mentioned in previous slides, anomalous activities. And manager configuration management database. Yes, please. So an analyst conducts the detect and respond activities, including network security monitoring, or NSM, forensic recovery, and threat hunting. Yes, please. This can be conducted in situ. Yes, please. And analyze cybersecurity incidents. Yes, please. Capable of taking forensic images of an asset. Yes, please. Manage the dashboards and tools available to the continuous monitoring team. With dashboards, as part of the SEAM tool, you have a dashboard function. Basically, what that is, you can create graphs and various ways of illustrating what you have found. Yes, please. So intelligence analyst, their role is to maintain a cyber situational awareness picture for the CPT, and the responsibilities: understand the threat to the target systems. Yes, please. Maintain an awareness of the cyber risk in the target systems. Yes, please. Threat intelligence. Their role: maintain a cyber situational awareness picture for the maritime domain. Yes, please. Provides the intelligence picture to the CyISOC. Yes, please. Manage MCSU requests for information, or RFIs, to wider MOD stakeholders. Yes, please. Manage RFIs to MCSU, so any RFIs coming into us. Yes, please. Monitor threat intelligence products and assess for implications to the maritime environment. Yes, please. So military training and courses. As I alluded to in my introduction, my IS courses from my trade training was basic, shall we say. So modules undertaken as part of phase 2 and phase 3 training. As I said, phase 2 is your initial trade training. Phase 3 is further on career training as you progress up the promotion ladder. Yes, please. Cyber Foundation Pathway, and this is delivered by the Defence Cyber School at the Defence Academy, Shrivenham in Wiltshire. I'll touch on this in greater detail later on. In fact, it's right now. I know my presentation. So here are the courses. Cyber 101, which is an introduction to cybersecurity. Yes, please. Module 0, Part A, which is cyber operations awareness. Those two can be delivered either instructor-led but remotely in a webinar, however, or face-to-face at Shrivenham. The next one, C, is Module 0, Part B, which is cyber operations awareness. That has to be delivered at Shrivenham because of the security content. It's more in depth than the Part A, hence why it has to be delivered face-to-face. It can't be done via webinar. D is the technical baseline, which touches on the OSI 7-layer model. Yes, please. Module 1 is networking fundamentals. Yes, please. Module 2, vulnerabilities, exploits and defense. Yes, please. Module 3, operating systems. So that's Windows, Linux. Go on then. Module 4, basic attacks and defense. Yes, please. Module 5, programming fundamentals. Yes, please. And module 6 is further attacks and defense. Yes, please, Catherine. So of note, the Cyber Foundation pathway currently carries no civilian accreditation. It is tri-service, but basically the learning effectively stays within the military. You can't go to a civilian employer and say, I've done up to module 6 of the Cyber Foundation pathway. They just won't understand it. Yes, please, Catherine. So what I'm going to touch on now is the cyber route for Royal Marines Information Systems, or RMIS. So the first element, like it is with any career, is completion of basic training. Yes, please, Catherine. The second element is a minimum of 2 years brigade drafting and having completed junior command course. So they have to be a lance corporal or above. A brigade draft, effectively, they're going to a fighting unit. They're not going to be playing with keyboards. They're going to be playing with rifles, hand grenades and the like. Yes, please, Catherine. The individual applies to specialise as RMIS. Yes, please, Catherine. Upon selection via a board, the individual commences IS training. Yes, please, Catherine. So this is a breakdown of how you get fully qualified as an RMIS, having gone through steps 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 3s course, which is delivered at the School of Signals at Blandford, there's no civilian accreditation and it provides the foundation of IS principles. Yes, please, Catherine. The 2s course, that's delivered at Stonehouse Barracks in Plymouth and is workbook-based training in order to prove your competence. Yes, please, Catherine. Lastly, the 1s course, delivered at the School of Signals in Blandford. Course is based upon Cisco and Microsoft principles. Although there's no civilian accreditation, it can be used as evidence and has been used as evidence of learning for Open University bachelor's degrees. I'm currently serving with a corporal RMIS and he has done exactly that. He's taken all the work from his 1s course, has gone to the Open University, said, look, here is all the stuff that I've done on my 1s course, and they've credited him for his Open University degree. Yes, please, Catherine. So there is no dedicated cyber branch within the RMIS and thus no direct entry into cyber roles from civilian life. Yes, please, Catherine. Right, civilian accredited. Catherine, can you click all the way to the end of this slide, please? Because there's absolutely oodles of them. That's it. So there's the list. I'll dwell for a while on this slide. The reason why we use these is because they fit in quite well on two counts, with the roles we have and also with the Cyber Foundation pathway. So what we find is people will do a certain module within the Cyber Foundation pathway, and then we try and get them on a SANS course. SAN obviously is recognised in industry. It has civilian accreditation, and they're quite expensive. So what is expected of an individual when they have attained a SANS qualification? They have to sign a waiver, and it's a return of service. And currently it's 18 months per course that you do. But I think, I can't remember which course it was, but it's in the region of £5,500 for 18 months of your life, especially if you're going to stay in the mob. You may as well do it. And the full list of courses can be found at the website at the bottom of that slide. And moving on, please, Catherine. Unified Career Management, or UCM. UCM is a tri-service capability and career management concept. Yes, please, Catherine. The concept was approved by the service chiefs and the Chief of the Defence Staff in January 2020 and formalised by the Defence Council in February 2021. It's intended to align trades and skills that are applicable across all three services. As I'm sure you're aware, cyber is cyber. Computers are computers. It doesn't matter whether it's dark blue, light blue or green. It's all the same, okay? And as an example, cyber was the first one to be selected for UCM, as that bullet point 4 denotes. The next one to go across, which I believe it might be this month, is medical services, because let's face it, the human body is the same, whether it's in the Army, the RAF or the Royal Navy. So what it's there to do is sort of to form a collective, you know, and to rationalise the training rather than the three services doing things individually, so on and so forth. Yes, please, Catherine. And has the added bonus of effectively creating a tri-service cyber branch, which ensures that personnel will not return to source branch on completion of their draft or posting. As I showed you, there are a number of branches, Royal Naval branches, that operate at MCSU CPT. If at the end of their draft, they've not gone to UCM, they can go back to their source branch. So I will go back to weapon engineering. I'll go back to being a maintainer on a ship, okay? And everything that I've done in the cyber world, there'll be skill fade if I ever do get back to the cyber world. And unfortunately, UCM at this moment in time isn't open to people at my level. So that's going to happen. I'm going back to weapon engineering. Yes, please, Catherine. And UCM Cyber draws its personnel from all three services as volunteers via selection panels. So once more, at this moment in time, you can't go to the Armed Forces Careers Office and say, I want to join UCM Cyber. You can't do it. However, this is my own personal opinion. There will come a time where the pot that they're drawing out of at the moment to form UCM Cyber will dry up, and I believe that they will open it up to direct entry to civilians. Yes, please, Catherine. So in the conclusion, I've drawn on my path from joining the Royal Navy to MCSU. What is MCSU and the Cyber Protection Team? Roles and responsibilities within the Cyber Protection Team, military training and courses, civilian accredited courses, and unified career management. Next slide, please. I guess we're into questions and answers now.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Very interesting. And thank you again for joining us tonight. I'm sure everyone on the call tonight really appreciates you're telling us about your experiences and potential options for them. Everyone on the call tonight, if you have any questions, can you pop them in the Q&A function or the chat, and we can read some of them out.
Catherine, I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
I can hear you though. Can you hear me, Charlie? Okay, the cadets can hear, which is good. Well, 50% good.
A couple of questions are coming in, so I think the cadets have heard me.
Go on, will the recording be available?
Yes, it will. It is going to be edited, so our little bit at the start will be edited out, and it will be in the cadet content library.
I know
it's been recorded.
I don't know what will
happen. So if you speak to your units, if you're not already on the training and admin website, they'll be able to help you get logged onto that, and it's in the cadet content library. I don't know
Cornelia's surname, and she said, "Am I happy for it to be recorded?" Yes, I am. What I would say is touch base with the people in your units and get them to reach back if they don't know the answer. Any more questions?
I mean, I can talk, but Charlie can't hear me. There's one in the chat box, but don't know.
We'll give you another minute, guys.
No more questions?
Just to think of any questions and keep them coming in. Okay, cadet's asking if he were to do a sandwich course at university for the placement year, does the RN offer this opportunity?
And I don't know the answer, I'm afraid. What I would say there is, once more, reach back to your unit. If your unit doesn't know, I would say go and see the Armed Forces Career Office, who should be able to get you an answer.
Any more questions? And keep them coming in. I'll give you another couple of minutes to think of any.
No, there is not a direct path into MCSU, Jake. As I alluded to, you have to join another branch of the Royal Navy and then get drafted into MCSU. So any of the branches that I mentioned, so weapon engineering, either as a technician or as communications and information systems specialist, warfare branch, EW, intelligence, CT. No, you can't go to the careers office and say, I want to work for MCSU, unfortunately. That's an in-depth question, Tom. In a number of ways. From intelligence, cyber threat intelligence, the media, even. You know, I'm sure you've all seen that there's been lots on the news with regards to Russia going into Ukraine. and the outfall of intelligence from that is massive, basically. And there have been suggestions that Russia was hacking Ukrainian systems prior to going in, and also the possibility that they could turn that against states that are friendly to Ukraine. Does that answer the question, Tom? I guess so. You're welcome.
Charlie, can you hear me now? That's not going to work, is it? Okay. Brilliant. All the cadets can hear me, which is great. We're going to call it an end there because I feel like we're just going to speak over each other. Thanks for persevering, guys. All your names will be recorded, and the webinars will carry on Wednesdays as well. Hopefully we won't have any more teething problems.
I'm reading something in the chat when you said they could locate anywhere, but could you locate it if the boat GPS is disabled? Is that a question towards me, Alan? Okay. What I meant by you could locate anywhere, that was the two duty CPT staff that are 48 hours notice to move. So that's with regards to incident response. So that's where the ship cries foul, we think we've been hacked, or a system has been hacked. And we then fly these two people out to the ship. GPS, we don't deal with it. And it is considered an act of war if you jam GPS. Adding to that as well, there is also military GPS, which is encrypted, and it's very, very hard to jam. And certain states that have their own GPS systems and their own military GPS systems can go into GPS denial. So they'll shut down their own GPS satellites, leaving up their military GPS satellites, which are encrypted. So only the friendly unit can use that GPS, but that's not cyber per se.